So Mum and Dad have just got home from a couple of days doing some crop protection hunting. These are some Forester legs that we have here. Foresters are similar to an eastern grey kangaroo. They're the biggest roos that we have down here in Tassie. We normally hunt wallabies. We do quite a lot of that for crop protection, but this time we got some special tags for Foresters. So they did a really good job helping out the farmer because these guys can do quite a bit of damage being as big as they are, and their population does get out of control. Dad was saying that while they were spotlighting one of the nights this week, he reckons that he counted almost 150 Foresters either side of the car as they were driving along. So huge numbers for a farm to try and deal with, but we've taken a few of them down and I'm going to show you guys how we break down the legs. We have done one of these videos before, but it was on a smaller wallaby leg, so I thought if we do it on a Forester, it's very similar to what it would be like to do a deer leg. I'm just going to bone it all out. I'm not going to break down any of the rump or anything. I'm just going to get rid of the bone, and then we're going to vacuum seal it in our Foodsaver, ready to go in the fridge for anywhere between 5 and 7 days, depending on how quickly we get to them, and then we will chuck them in the freezer after that. These Foresters can only be taken under permit here in Tassie, so there's the tag that was on there to say that it was all legitimate and allowed to be done. But the way that Dad would have boned this out, he has left a little bit of the bottom of the back straps on there, and then we've got a bit of bone here through this tail piece, and then we've got the two full leg bones as well. So I'm going to separate the two legs off this piece of meat here, and then I will bone out the actual legs themselves as well. When you do bone out the legs, you want to be working with this inside part of the leg here, because the muscle just separates away a lot nicer. There are lots of different ways to do this, guys. This is just the way that we do it. It works really well for us. So feel free to try out different methods and different ways and see what works for you. As always, when you're cutting up any kind of meat, wild game or otherwise, you always want your knives to be really sharp. A blunt knife is a pretty dangerous one because you end up hacking away at things. It's much better to have something sharp that's going to do the job as you need it to. If you do have any bits of gunk and hair and stuff like that, just get that off before you start cutting the meat up as well. So I've cleaned up the outside of the meat a little bit, and now I'm going to start boning it out. So this is the inside of the leg, like I said earlier. You can see the inside of the knee. Do you call it a knee when it's a kangaroo? We'll go with the knee. Inside of the knee, we're going to cut pretty much up this line here to bone it out. That'll give you access to this bone here to start peeling out around it and get that out of the meat. So, I don't know how well you can see, but you can see the bone, the white of the bone there, and you just peel around that bone with your knife. So for this part here, to get the meat off, you can just see that there's a bit of cartilage or sinew and whatever it is that a kangaroo's knee is made up of in there. You just want to cut down practically on an angle there, down in towards the bone to get that bit of meat released. Takes that bit off there. And you can continue to cut around here as well. So that's that bone removed there. So what I did was come down the top, slice down there, start peeling out around these edges, and then when I could get enough of it, I came around and cleared away this bit of the ball joint here, and then just cut down through the bottom of the bone. Now I'll move up to the shank and get that removed. Most of the meat will be on this inside part, as you can see. There's not a lot up here, but you will be able to kind of peel out around this as well. Fully boned out piece of leg. Now this, I normally just break this bone in half and then give that to the dogs as a nice little treat. You can go and take off the rest of the meat if you want, but it does have a lot of sinew and stuff through it, this bit of meat. That bit's not too bad on something as big as a forester or even a deer. That wouldn't be too bad, but give it to the dogs as a nice treat for them anyway. I've got a decent bit of meat here. Now that, I'll just clean up a little bit around some of these bloodier areas, just removing some of that with the knife. But for the most part, I'll keep it all whole and then put it in one of our Ziploc, they're not a Ziploc, put it in one of our vacuum seal bags and then get that vacuum sealed with the Foodsaver, and that'll just go straight in the fridge ready to wet age for about a week. I'll do the other one to show you guys again, and then we'll get the tailbone removed from that roast. The bigger parts of the rump can be used for steak, it can be used for mince, although it's a little bit of a waste of a really good piece of meat. You can use some of it, like you could possibly cut off the top part of this shank here and then use that for mince, but we'll probably use a lot of that for a roast. You can also use it in stews, casseroles, anything like that. It's pretty good meat. We don't mind the old roux or wallaby, as long as it's kind of prepared right. And the wet aging really does help a lot. It helps to get away a lot of that gamey kind of flavour that people often complain about. And it just makes the meat a lot softer as well. So if you do decide to cut it up into steaks and have it like that, it's actually tender enough to eat and you're not sitting there getting a jaw workout. Anyway, do this next leg and show you guys again what we've done, and then we'll get it all vacuum sealed and ready to go. Not too much light on my face. No. Okay, we all jig. Then you struggle hard out because you're a little girl and it's a giant leg. I don't like no black stuff on my leg. This was essentially the kind of butt side. But it's also really good for sous videing. Tash, you left and I'm stuffing up. I really hope that tutorial helped out. I hope that
Do the rewind, it helps.
Well, that is how I bone out a leg. Yep, great, thanks Jess. Awesome. Awesome! Hope that it helps you go. Why?
Also, you're not looking at the camera very much. You keep looking away from it.
That is how I bone out a leg. That is most definitely coming in the bloopers. Same again with this one. I'm gonna just get rid of some of this crap here. Dad's done a pretty good job of keeping them all pretty clean on the way home. With a little bit of fur in there. Once again, just come straight down the middle. You can actually see there's like a white line that runs all the way down through there to where the ball joint is. And that's a really good guide to follow because it goes straight down through to the bone, up to this joint, and then straight up here around a piece of shank meat as well. So just follow that white line, and that'll also tell you that you're on the inside of the leg and not the outside. Once again, just straight down through this part and then back in towards the bone. Try not to blunt the crap out of your dad's knife, right on the bone. Leg number 2 done. And a couple of veins and stuff in here that I'll just get rid of. Other than that, pretty well done. Ready to be vacuum sealed and stuck in the fridge for a week. This is the last piece we've got left to bone out, and it's just the tail section that was in between the 2 legs. So this here is essentially what would have gone up into 2 back straps along the spine, and then we've just got this little bit of tail section here that Dad didn't bone out, so I'll do that now. You can pretty much feel with your fingers where the bones are to cut around. And if not, you just do a really good job blunting your knife and then practice your knife sharpening skills later. Another little chew toy for the dogs. And we've got this piece boned out. That will either go to mince or a casserole or something like that. Alright, so now that we've got these pieces boned out, we'll grab out our Foodsaver and we'll get them vacuum sealed so that they can go off into the fridge ready to be wet aged.